try to tell y'all, all these bus riders, they don't mean nothing to me. If you ain't driving the bus, don't walk around talking about you're a champion. If you riding the bus, I don't want to hear it.
Kenny Smith is one of the faces you see on Inside the NBA. For those of you who do not know, Inside the NBA is a show dedicated to the NBA. Famous basketball players like Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and the best host ever, Ernie Johnson, make up for the best basketball show on television. They discuss games, analyze them, and give some meaningful insights. Kenny Smith is a part of that group. The majority of us younger fans mostly know Kenny Smith specifically because of this show, but he was an NBA player himself. The bus rider doesn't forget to remind us from time to time that he's a two-time NBA champion, which of course, as we know by now, is true. He sometimes acts like he was an NBA superstar. Unfortunately, Kenny Smith didn't make the top 75 NBA players list this year, but Charles Barkley said that in about 20 years Kenny will be on the list of 5,000 best NBA players at number 4,999. Will he make it though? To figure it out, we have to look at how good was Kenny Smith really. Young Kenneth Smith polished his basketball skills at the University of North Carolina. The 6'3", 170-pound guard spent 4 years there, averaging 12.9 points and 6 assists. He also earned consensus first-team All-American honors as a senior. Kenneth Smith was drafted in the first round of the 1987 NBA draft by the Sacramento Kings. Right away, he was named as the starting point guard for that Kings team, and he was solid. While the team sucked potatoes, Kenny Smith was averaging 14 points and 7 assists as a rookie. Next year, it was much of the same. Kings weren't a good team, but Kenny Smith still was starting and seemingly improving. He averaged 17.3 points and 7.7 assists. Maybe this was the season he mentioned he regrets that he didn't make an all-star team. He was close. He was close. The beginning of his third season in the league was good, but not great. He wasn't improving anymore, so midway through his third season, Kenny Smith was traded to the Atlanta Hawks for Anton Carr and Cedric Toney. In Atlanta, he was a bench player. In 33 games, from which he started only 5, he averaged 7.7 points and 4.3 assists. His time in Atlanta was short, as at the end of the 89-90 season, he was traded to the Houston Rockets. That was the best possible move for young Kenneth's career. Not only he went to a team that was ready to win more than he ever had in his career, but he was also playing with one of the best players in Hakeem Olajuwon and a strong supporting cast that included Vernon Maxwell, Otis Thorpe, and Buck Johnson. He once again became a starter, and you could argue that the best year of his career was his first season in Houston. 17.7 points, 7.1 assists, and his first trip to the playoffs, which sadly ended in the first round. By his second season in Houston, Kenneth already had developed a consistent three-point shot, something he had been lacking in his first 4 seasons. Although he did attempt only 1.7 three-pointers a game, he made 39.4% of those. His teammate Vernon Maxwell was the league leader in three-pointers made, while Kenneth was 35th. He had a solid season which unfortunately didn't result in a playoff appearance. Next year, his role started to decrease, yet the team started to win more. He was now playing less than 30 minutes per game and averaged 13 and 5, but the Rockets won 55 games and made it to the Western Conference semifinals, where they lost in 7 games to the Seattle Supersonics. And then, finally, the 1993-94 NBA season. The starting point guard for the Rockets is averaging 12 and 4. The Houston Rockets are one of the best teams in the league. They of course make the playoffs, where throughout 23 games Kenny Smith is averaging 11 and 4, but mind you, is shooting 44.7% from the 3. The Houston Rockets beat the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals in 7 games. Kenny Smith is now an NBA champion. Next season, Houston's a bit worse, but they still make the NBA Finals and repeat as NBA champions by sweeping Orlando Magic with a young Shaquille O'Neal who averages 29 and 11 in the finals. How was Kenny Smith during the playoff run? In 22 games, he averages 10.8 points and 4.5 assists. But again, some timely threes, and in total, 44.2% from the deep. Kenny Smith is now a 2-time NBA champion. Kenny Smith's last season in Houston, his age 30 season. He gradually loses his playing time to Sam Cassell and now plays less than 24 minutes per game. He averaged 8.5 points and 3.6 assists. They didn't come close to a three-peat though, as the Rockets went out early during the 1996 NBA playoffs in the Western Conference semifinals against the Seattle Supersonics. After the season, the Rockets released Smith, and that was essentially the end of his NBA career. He signed with the Detroit Pistons but played in just 9 games before being released. He then signed with the Orlando Magic but was released after only 6 games. The last stop in his NBA career was the Denver Nuggets, who that year were a horrible team. Smith was their reserve point guard coming out the bench, playing about 20 minutes per game and averaging 8 points and 3 assists. That was the last we saw of Kenny Smith in the NBA. In total, Kenny Smith spent 10 seasons in the NBA, participating in 737 games and averaged 12.8 points and 5.5 assists. He shot 48% from the field and 40% from the three. He retired in 1997 and started his broadcasting career in early 1998. Since then, he's frequently appeared on TV as an analyst and now, obviously, is a prominent part of Inside the NBA. So as you can see, he wasn't a superstar player or anything like that. He was a good player that played a role well and in the end helped the Houston Rockets to win those championships. Could they have won without him? Probably, but as you know, bus drivers also need bus riders to give them directions, so there's that. But what do you think? How good was Kenny Smith as a player? Was he a good bus rider? Please leave your comments down below. As always, like, share, and subscribe for more content. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.
In Rap City, I always want to be in the basement, in the studio. I got backspin. We gonna do our own freestyle in here without Big Tick. Hold on. Let me see. What? Yo, cause when it comes to Flav, see you can't taste mine, so don't waste time, cause I can take you baseline to baseline. I got loot. See, I see how them stars feel. Back in the days, I caught wreck as a Tar Heel.